You're listening to Guitar Talk with Will Musig.
That thing sounds awesome.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. It's pretty versatile for that. That's the little thing.
Hi guys.
On live.
Hi
And
guys.
it's light. Oh, you're kidding me.
Hi guys, we're live at the moment.
Oh, no, busted! Busted!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Guitar Talk. We've got a lot of new gear here tonight, so we got. And Marty was just running through some stuff with the amp and stuff, and we got carried away. And dirty little Pino over there in the corner, he decided to put us on live without telling us. So
You're nasty.
So, true to our word in saying that we will be putting some gear on Guitar Talk. Tonight is the night where we will actually be doing that. So we've got Marcello Grassi here from EGM Distribution and Eastgate Music. And welcome, Marchi.
Good evening. And thank you for having me, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome.
I feel honoured, actually. Thank you.
Well, it's been a long time since we've had drinks.
I can feel Scotch is coming on very quickly. And lots of beers as well.
Now, tonight we've got some giveaways, so feel free to call in. We've got a couple of T-shirts, and we've got a whole bunch of little knickknacks that EGM is giving away. And
all to support the music channel, of course.
Thank you. And it's the only way that we're going to basically grow the community is by having support from our suppliers even here in Australia. Now, suppliers, EGM Distribution, for many of you that don't know what that is, it's actually an importer of musical instruments. So, March, what sort of brands do you guys bring in?
Yeah, EGM.
I know you bring in some serious gear.
Yeah, we do. We do, but that's not all that we do. Probably our main locomotives would probably be Voodoo Lab, Pedal Train.
Voodoo Lab, by the way, see this T-shirt? That's a T-shirt we're giving away tonight. So if someone calls in. And
True Tone, formerly, which is True Tone One Spot, formerly known as Visual Sound.
Awesome.
They're all great brands.
Yeah.
And we do other things such as Bogner amplification and pedals, magnetone, and we do lots of cool accessories such as string cleaners, strings. We do things like Amp One, as we see later on.
Strings that are made in France.
Yes, absolutely. Skull and Philip Bussate. We also do a strap line from Canada, which is called Steph, and we also do Locket.
We'll talk about that stuff tonight.
Yeah, we do some great guitar hardware, which is called Tone Pros. We do tubes. We do some great switching systems such as Lely, Maxon, Visual Sound pedals, and there's a whole lot more. Oh, and of course, we're also a couple of new lines that have been recent over the last year and a half, 2 years, is Ennis Design and Phil Jones Bass. It's been a wonderful. They've been two great lines for us. And in about another month, we're doing Lace Sensor as well. So our order's coming soon. So there's always got something on the horizon.
Awesome. Now let's talk about Marcello Grassi. Let's go back to the early days. So let's just put your thinking cap of, let's go back 5 years. No, I'm joking. Yeah, let's go back to when it all began. When did you pick up the guitar first time around, and why did you pick up the guitar?
That's a good story. I remember I had a friend that lived down the road, and I used to go to. I used to go to his house for one reason and one reason alone. Although he was a nice bloke, or a kid at the time. There was this 2-string guitar in the garage, in the shed, and it was calling me. And
How was it calling you?
it was just, I just kept on looking at it, saying, I have to pick this thing up and do something with it. And I learned how to play Smoke and Water on it. I worked it out. And then from there, I needed the bug to go and buy a guitar. So I started working in the garage, my uncle's garage, and I went and bought a guitar.
So
My
you were a petrol pumper.
Absolutely.
I did the
Busting
same.
tires,
I did the same.
Grease Monkey, the whole deal.
Yeah.
And somehow my sister Amalia, who was a great guitar player at the time, got one before me and did it all. And then I just did everything possible to keep on getting my hands on her guitar. She was left-handed, of course, but played the legend.
So your parents were, in a way, positive towards you playing guitar?
Yeah, in the early days, yes, they were. They were.
In the early days?
Very,
What happened in the later days?
Oh, it's like schooling, and you're playing way too much guitar, and you're not doing enough at school, and your marks should be a lot better. Your music marks are okay.
Oh, crack up. And then what happened? Did you do any formal schooling or anything? Like, did you go to uni and study? Or
No, I did a course at Preston College.
Okay.
And then I learnt privately classical guitar.
And who were your teachers? Who was your...
My main classical guitar teachers were, as a teenager, was Don Meander. And then my biggest mentor in classical, that is still going today and probably well known around the world in England, is James Looms.
Yeah.
James Looms.
And some of your early influences, who were some of your early influences when you were listening to guitarists and stuff?
Oh, wow. I remember when I was a very, very young teenager and I heard AC/DC. I said, that's it. That's just something really, really, really special. And then I started, luckily for me, I had elder sisters and they were into a lot of good music, and they were into Steely Dan and people of that nature. And I was introduced to great guitar players such as Larry Carlton and people of that nature. And that was just and then later on, as a later teenager, I was, speaking to really good guitar players and other musicians, got me into, good horn players, piano players, jazz players, and it just filled in. But always, the string instrument guitar thing was always great. But I listened to many other instruments all the time.
Yep. And with your guitar playing today, who do you listen to?
Wow, it goes. I listen to from straight ahead jazz to bebop. I go back to old school like Wes Montgomery, George Benson, all for all different periods. Still love people like Larry Carlton and Leah Rittner. Probably who really gives me, the hair standing at the back of my neck is people like Scott Henderson and Jimmy Herring.
Yeah,
and obviously, and of recent Greg Howe. I saw Greg Howe when he did these hot licks, and then I'm listening to him. I've heard him with other collaborations with other people, with other bass players like John and stuff like that. And I went, wow, what a guitar! It's unbelievable, But and Robin Ford, of course, but people like that, I absolutely adore that type of guitar player.
Yeah. Okay, that's grouse. That's awesome. Now,
and there's so many jazz bebop guys that goes on, and probably the best jazz guy around at the moment, I reckon, is a guy called Pasquale Grasso. He's just something on another planet.
Pasquale Grasso.
Grasso, yeah.
Yeah. I bet
name.
you're calling him because he's got a name, one letter different to yours.
Fantastic. What a guitar player, man. He's just unbelievable.
Now, speaking of your name, there's these strings here. I'm looking at the front cover of them, and it says Signature Series Marcello Grassi. How did that happen?
Yeah, that's a crazy story. There's a gentleman by the name of Carlos Povic. We import strings such as Philip Pousset. He makes beautiful classical strings, and he makes great electric strings called Skull.
Yep.
And I was just saying, I've got an arch top, and there was a great string. Was an L5 string that Gibson used to make, and it was 12 to 56. I said, you can't get this gauge anymore. I said, it's perfect for 25.5-inch scales. And then come up, and I said, what do you like, pure nickel? I said, I like that fat 50s pure nickel sound, not that new age acoustic guitar thing. I want that fat 50s sound, because mine's got 3 humbuckers. And he did that, and I got, and and now he sells them. So it's a wonderful thing.
And is he selling them around the world or just here in
I
Australia?
think he's done them in France as well, but I need to ask that actually. I need to ask that.
Because that'd be awesome
It would be.
to know that your strings are around the world.
Well, it'd be nice. I have to ask that. I haven't asked that question yet.
Yeah. So they are French.
They are French.
They are French.
They are
He's
French.
good.
Yes,
He's
good.
French. No, that's cool. So if you call in, you'll probably end up with a packet of the strings as well. So
Yeah, we can do that.
yeah. Now,
Perfect for 25.5-inch scale.
Yeah.
And 7-inch arch stops. Perfect.
yeah. Now let's talk about some of your guitars, because I remember when I was a young tacker that I used to go and watch you playing some of the reception bands
Yes.
back in the day.
That was
at
an experience.
Mirage.
That was an experience, wasn't it?
I know. And you used to play that Paul Reed Smith.
Yes, that was one of them. Yep.
Yeah. And then there were times where you had the Strats and the Tallies and all that stuff. What's your main axe now?
I would throw it around. It's probably Les Paul Tally. I still go back to a Strat, and I just off it for a while. I don't think I'll ever stop using the Paul Reed Smith because you're growing up on it, you know. But I don't just like throwing things around. The Art Stop is what I'm playing a lot at the moment. I don't know why. It's just a calling at the present moment. It's because I've never been able to play like that, and now I want to play like that or have a go at it anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So and what string gauge are you using?
On the solid bodies, I've actually gone up a gauge. I used to use on the Paul Reed Smith. It was 9-42.
Yep.
And everyone's going, "Oh, that's light," but it had a sound, and that was a good sound for the high gain sounds. I think 9-42 is really good and balanced. But now I've gone up to 10-52. I don't know why. It's just something I've wanted to do and needed to do, and I'm struggling with it, to be honest. But I'm determined. I'm absolutely determined.
Oh, that's a cracker.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about some of the gear that you guys are bringing in?
Sure. What would you like to talk about?
I don't know. You've got so much gear. Let's talk about this little baby, because we're going to hear it all night with a few things. Tell us about this amp.
This is
This is not the amp, actually.
no,
This is the speaker cabinet,
correct. It's called the Nano Cab.
the Nano Cab.
Yeah.
And this is the actual amp.
Yeah, it's the brand is Blue Guitar. Inventor and owner, one of the main owner of the company is Thomas Blue. He was in the R&D for Hughes and Kettner for probably 28 years or 27 years, and this is his own company. And he, fantastic guitar player, great touring musician, and I think he was sick of touring with 2 Triamps and trying to get 2 Triamps anywhere that he went around the world. And he's basically decided to come up with many bass players, as you know, using very light switch mode amplifiers. And
Phil Jones.
yeah, it's one of
Bass
them.
amp.
He was one of the pioneers of it, and everyone jumped the bandwagon. So basically, the same theory: light, portable amplifier. So you could basically plug into any speaker box around the world and not be at the mercy of any sound engineer that makes you sound like a dulcimer for humbucker in it, you know, and pull a good sound anywhere. Lightweight and travel the world. Put in your gig bag and away you go.
Show me what it sounds like.
Okay. So we have, first of all,
There's a pedal board down there as well.
yes, that's called the Remote One Switcher. This is the amp itself. So just to give you a little bit about, it's a 100-watt amplifier.
Yep.
And it's 8 ohms and 16 ohm outs. It also has 4 channels. It's an analog front with a valve output stage, and it uses a sub-military nanotube, which gives you the feel and compression of lovely valve amplifiers.
And how long does the nanotube last for?
Apparently 70 to 80 years. So should outweigh.
That's
outlive what the
awesome.
amp does. Yeah. So that's pretty amazing. And it's 4-channel, and you can either use it as a straight ahead amp. For example, this is a default from clean to another channel, and that went to the classic channel. You've also got a signed boost, so you can have a boost, and you've also a reverb on the actual unit itself. You can expand it with the Remote One, which is a floor, as I've done here. So you go from a clean to a vintage sound, to a classic sound, to a modern high gain sound.
Yep.
And all of those can be boosted. And then on the Remote One, you can actually have 2 separate masters. So I can have one level. You can go to the master on the main level. It's a bit loud, as you can hear. Or you can put on the power soak and have it a lot lower. So you can use it for practicing at very, very low volumes, or use as a preset master, and for high gains without being too. And then, of course,
Wow. Now,
thanks for that, Marchie. I just lost my eardrum, mate. It's okay. Just don't worry about it.
now,
what I've done, I've exaggerated the levels on the side of the amp one, because there's on the side of the amp one, you could adjust the level.
you can't really see it.
No.
But, I
There's
mean,
small
little knobs on the side.
Yeah, there's small tone controls to adjust the tones from the high gain, the classic. The vintage is being true to being vintage, because the vintage is just straight out to the power source. And so that way you can actually get even further adjustment from the analog interface.
How much does it weigh?
That's a very good question.
I
Not very much.
didn't prep you on that, did I?
Nah.
It's pretty light, I have to admit. I mean, if you're going on hand luggage and stuff, that's pretty light.
Yeah, it is. And you saw a little bag. that
Yeah,
you carry
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
pick up the speaker box like this.
The speaker box is really, really light.
Yeah.
I have to admit. Really, really, really light. Yeah. So now what you're listening to over Facebook does not give this amp any justice, because you've really got to hear it it's freaking loud. I'm telling you now. And it is so clean, like loud and clean, and it's just a nice fat sound.
It is.
So yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Now, with regards to if someone wanted to look at one of these, where can they find them?
There are retailers in most states.
Yep.
There's a few outlets in Melbourne. Eastgate Music's one of them.
Yep.
Sydney, Adelaide.
Okay.
So the main states and Perth as well.
Yeah. Okay. So you can get it anywhere.
Pretty much.
And if they go on the Eastgate Music website, it'll come up with all the all the
I know
stores.
the EGM website. No, but you can send an email to EGM, and we will
and you'll set
and we will
send
forward you to your closest
dealer.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's awesome. Now, there's something else I saw that I have to admit. What a gadget. That is so cool. This is a guitar strap that it's a lockable one. So it's got this little lever on the front of it that you pull up, and it locks onto your strap pin. And it's made in the US.
Correct.
And smells awesome.
Smells like leather.
It smells like real leather. It is real
It
leather.
is real leather. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so cool. How much are these?
They range from about $35, $39.
Yep.
And they go up depending on the style of. They've got some limited edition patterns. These are the new retro vintage patterns. Then they've got straight nylon ones, straight cotton ones, and leather.
Okay.
Yeah, and various thicknesses as well.
Yeah.
And also you can get them with reverse. I don't want to bore you, but so if you got like a 335, that will latch the opposite way.
Okay.
Mm.
Yep.
And the whole idea of the strap lock is so you don't. Nothing wrong with a strap lock, but if you've got like a vintage guitar and you don't want to be evasive to it and start mucking around with different screws and drilling holes in it to put strap locks, you just clip it on. You want to, you probably see YouTube clips of people swinging the guitars around. They do all that.
Hang on, Will. I just need to put that closer to the camera. I'm getting people saying I can't see it.
You can't see it. Oh, Pino, can you be the model for us? It's a great. I have to admit that is the first time I've seen that, and that is actually a really great setup. The straps. Where can you get the straps from?
Most retailers around the country.
Most retailers.
Yeah. And they can order them. No problem.
Yeah. So now, if someone calls in, we've got some prizes tonight. So and they're actually given to us by EGM Distribution. So and also Eastgate Music. So feel free to call in, and you can have a chat to Marchie and ask him about some tech talk. Because when it comes to tech talk, I tell you now, Marchie's the guy in I would say in Australia, one of the guys in Australia anyway, to talk to, because
we do our best, but
you know your stuff.
We try.
You definitely do know your stuff.
We try.
You definitely know your stuff. So now, doing this, what you're doing here, you would work with, like, being in the distribution and stuff. You would have some guitarists here in Australia that you actually work with, where they're endorsing your product and stuff.
Some because some of them we do is a higher end nature, but we're working through that at the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, we're reaching out. A lot of bass players have reached out at the moment, which is
I know
wonderful.
the Phil Jones.
Yeah.
That's
The guitar
awesome.
situation is a bit different because a lot of people really like their little toys, and it's probably people that've got a disposable income that like to throw around the toys a bit. But working musicians are, it depends. They really should invest in the ultimate amplification and multiple of them to really help their careers, to be honest.
Yeah.
But financially, it's always can be difficult.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, actually, how much is this? What's the retail price?
They street for around about $1,200.
That's just that.
Yeah.
No cabinet.
Nope.
And the cab?
Cabinet streets for about $750.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just under $2,000.
Yeah, 700.
Yeah. And the pedal board?
It's around about $499.
Okay. So that's in a way it's looking at one of the top end amps of heavyweight.
Yeah,
I'm talking heavyweight. I've got to lift this heavy thing around.
but it's all modular.
Yeah.
It's all modular. You can just you could just have the amp one and use it as one of your arsenal of tricks. I'm not saying you should replace your favorite Fender Twin or Deluxe Reverb or J&P Marshall. You just use it as another tool to work and get in and out of a place fairly quickly. And you can pull a good sound very quickly.
Yep.
And with little fuss,
Yeah. That's awesome, I have to admit. So with regards to I'm just putting my hand on top of here. I'm just trying to direct people to look at the gear. But with guitarists here in Australia, who do you look up to?
Oh, look, there's so many.
I know there's quite a few.
And this is, I reckon, in no particular order. Just, I think, ambassadors for the country, right? Probably, you'll have to say Tommy O'Malley in so many different facets. Brett Garson. New Age, probably. I really like Michael Dolce, the guitar player.
We have
We've
a
got
phone call,
coming
boys.
in.
Oh. And I reckon in Melbourne at the moment, Steve Magnuson. Steve's hot. Steve's out.
Hello, Guitar Talk.
Oh, headphones.
Who's that?
Hey, how you doing? How are you, Will? This is Joe. What's going on?
Hey, Joe. How you doing, man?
Good, man. I love that strap. It's awesome.
It's awesome, isn't it? I have to admit, seriously, the way it's been designed, it's just like, it's solid too. Like the actual clamping mechanism of it is like really serious. Like, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a definite. It's just
No,
awesome.
it's good. I saw it when Pino put it up. Because like Marcello said, I'm sick of changing strap locks all the time. I want to keep the original,
Yeah.
especially with the Strats, the Tallys, the Gibsons, and you always got to change it, especially the Gretches,
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So, what's going on with Marcello strings? Are they Italian strings? Are they WOG strings? Are they?
I didn't hear that.
Margie didn't hear that. He obviously doesn't have you in the cans.
I don't, my cans aren't working.
Joe just asked, these strings, are they WOG strings?
They're WOG strings.
They're actually from France. They're
From
actually
France?
from France. Yeah.
So you get a baguette with it as well.
No,
Yeah.
I can't hear.
Do you get a baguette with them as well?
I began to do.
Or
Yeah.
a French stick?
Okay.
Yeah.
2 French sticks.
Do you hear it now?
No,
No.
no.
Probably when you went for a 6 before.
Is that what happened? Did I go for the 6-0?
That were the headphones you went for a 6 with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now they're actually. I mean, I'm gonna talk to. I'm gonna get a packet for myself and use them. I've got a gig on Friday night. I think I might use them on Friday night.
Do it.
Yeah. So there's one packet that
do it.
everyone's in forfeit of.
Hey,
They're
you better
mine.
watch it, Will. You're going to sound like Marcello.
Now we're in for it.
What a crack up. So yeah, no, but yeah. By the way, that's Joe Capinti on the phone.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
No.
How
You
you
don't
going?
know
How
Joe
you going,
yet?
March? All right.
Yeah, I'm good. How you going? I've got a. I've been sucking into this tonight,
That's good. That's good.
and I feel like an
You deserve to
infomercial.
be. No, that's all right. I haven't seen you in ages.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yep. I think the last time I saw you was at the guitar show.
Yes, it's coming up. It's coming up again, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the guitar show is a good thing, isn't it? It brings 5
Yeah,
to
it
6.
is.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
We're going to be doing a fair bit of promo on the guitar show coming up. So, yeah.
All right, guys, I better let you get on with it. I'll see you after.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for calling. Oh,
No
by the way,
worries, guys.
Joe,
Yeah.
I think because you called, we'll give you a giveaway. Do you want some strings?
Yeah, I want to sound like Marcello too.
You got it, buddy.
Well, what we'll give you, Joe? We'll give you one of the string cleaners, right?
Yeah.
Which I was going to, that's how you use them. Yeah, so these string cleaners, you swipe under the string and then wipe the string and stuff. So now, being a guitar tech, the amount of people I tell that they need to clean their strings. So
Tell me
I'm
about
going
it.
to give you an order for these. I'm going to buy a dozen of these. I think.
They're handy. Just put one in every case.
Yeah, everyone needs them. So, So Joe, I'll give you a string cleaner. You cool with that?
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks.
Awesome. That's for Joe. Beautiful.
All right.
Thanks for calling, Joe. And
No worries, guys. Enjoy.
catch you later, mate.
Bye.
And now we're going to go off to a commercial. So Pino's basically given me the thumbs up, saying that we're ready to go. So here it is.
Eastgate Music is Melbourne's premier independent music retailer, now trading at 1131 Burke Road Q, with free car parking at the rear. We specialise in acoustic and electric guitars, tube amplifiers and boutique pedals. For keyboards, drums, PA systems, microphones and home recording gear, we have it all. Violins, violas and cellos are a special focus of Melbourne Strings, our orchestral shop. For new, vintage, second-hand and custom shop, trade in and trade up for great cash prices. Lay-bys and consignment stock are welcome. We offer interest-free finance and take all major credit cards. Our experienced in-house technicians can service, set up and repair your instruments and amps reliably and quickly. We deliver securely and safely to your door, including regional centres and interstate. The major brands we stock include Fender, Gibson, Yamaha, Martin, Taylor, Maton, Bogner, Magnetone and many more. Check out our websites at eastgatemusic.com and melbournestrings.com for great deals, discounts and specials.
And Fraser Nan, how you doing? Marchie's the man, you say. Marchie, have you heard that one before? About you?
No,
that you're the man?
Yeah, well, thank you, Fraser. You're being too kind. He's the man. He's the man.
Now, Fraser actually plays, yeah?
Fraser, great, yeah.
Great player?
And he's got a lot of great gear. A lot of great amps, a lot of great gear, a lot of great guitars, a lot of great amps.
Cool.
And he's quite a bit of a Bogner enthusiast as well, which is magnificent. Among other amplifiers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should put on my headphones so I can
Your
listen.
headphones are here.
Is he saying hello?
No, he's commenting on there.
Oh.
So, Joey Amenta's saying something on the screen. He's saying, say hi to Marchie from Joey.
Oh, that's my compadre, Joey.
Compadre.
What? None of us count there, Joey.
He's the dude, isn't he?
Yeah, no, Joey doesn't say hello to us anymore, does he?
No, I feed him pasta and spaghetti
Yeah,
and everything else.
exactly.
And
You feed him food and he doesn't even say hello.
We don't even
to
get a
you.
hello. It's okay.
Yeah.
The love
Good
is
on you.
gone.
Good on you, Joey. So back to what we're talking about with other guitarists. Actually, there's Joey Amenta is one of our Australian guitarists that's doing a lot for the country as well, for the industry as well. So, who else are you saying is?
So I think I mentioned Tommy Emmanuel.
Tommy,
Brett
yep,
Garson,
Brett
definitely.
Garsett, definitely.
Michael Dolce, I think, is a absolute dude at the moment. some of the Melbourne guys, like I think Steve Magason's always got me on the edge of my chair whenever I hear him. I used to love people like Simon Patterson as well. I think of the new age, Jack Jones is always fabulous.
Jack's amazing, yeah.
Jack Pantasis as
Yeah.
well. Who else is there's I think the new age people like Glenn Proudfoot, who's been doing the Electric Mary thing, and he's now in Prague, working in a really good band in Prague.
Yeah.
So there's a good spread there.
Yeah.
And then probably Muller in Sydney, really good straight ahead player. And there's a lot of good players.
Yeah.
And of course, Frank Gambale as well.
Well, Frank's doing a lot of stuff in the US, which is putting Australia on the map, isn't it?
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
In many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, that's great. And are you gigging much like you used to?
No, not very often. But occasionally we throw on the jean jacket, do a little 3-piece thing, and with a whole bunch of friends, we're planning a little fusion thing, which is wonderful. Little 3-piece fusion thing, which is great.
You going to do originals or covers?
A bit of both. Bit of both.
Who's in the lineup?
Well, I think I'm going to have Serge Mellis, my compadre Serge Mellis, because he's just a really good, safe pair of hands, and he's a wonderful musician.
Is Serge on?
Yeah, Serge is watching.
Serge is on, is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going. I think we've got to get him out there.
Yeah,
he's fabulous, and he's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and a safe pair of hands too.
And not only that, he's my favourite chef.
Yeah, there you go. We're gonna get fed well.
That's
after
going back years ago, man.
We're gonna get fed well after every gig, which is wonderful.
Now you've changed over to your Gibson.
Yes.
What year is it?
This is historic 1960. So it's not the big chunky 59 necks. Oh, sorry, or 58. Sorry, 59 neck is not too big, but I normally like the bigger necks. But I don't know, this one just appealed to me.
Because when you pulled that out of its case and you put it on the stand, the first thing Pino said was, "I've got one too." Look,
yeah,
he does. He's got one over here behind me. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, and like, I mean, they look pretty close. I mean,
that one's got a better top, though.
Hey, Marchie.
Hello.
Serge's replied. He goes, "Bruto, we be smashed every night."
Oh, that's true. And apparently, Serge, we were talking about the name of the band. Meet the Press, apparently. And he keeps on going between Rock Scars and Meet the Press.
So it's a trio.
I got plenty of scars. So I can dig that.
So it's a trio. So who's the third?
We don't know yet. We might have to get you, Pino.
I'm in.
But I do know, but we spoke about it a number of times. I think core 3-piece and always have guest artists coming on all the time, like maybe a Hammond player or a harmonica player or something of that nature. So it'd be pretty cool.
We should be a 3-piece and call it Quattro Bubba.
Quattro Bubba, yeah. Okay, that's true.
Now that went straight over a lot of people. That
I know.
understand
Quattro
Italian.
Bubba means 4 idiots in Italian.
Yeah.
Or a trio.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'll just sit here.
I think it's lost in translation, Pino. Yeah. No, it's all right.
Continue.
Eddie DeMarchi.
Eddie DeMarchi, yeah.
Man.
Another guitar player, another good player.
He's great player. Yeah.
Great.
So
nice person too.
Oh, absolutely. So actually, he came to the last Muso get together we had.
Did
know
you?
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
One that you didn't come to.
Well, I haven't been to any of them.
I know. That's all right.
But I'm going to. You know
But
that.
we're making. You've said it now. It's in the public eye. You said that you're coming.
I'll be there.
So, hey, show us something about this particular guitar and the amp again, and show us some
Well, I mean,
funny, fancy.
Well, we did it clean before, right? So it's so the clean thing, which is straight ahead thing, pretty good. And then it's a vintage thing, you know. Has no tone control and just straight, so that's a pretty good rock sound, I thought. Then that's the classic sound there. Pretty good for that. And then over here, you've got a really nice over. What a sound. And if you're on top of that, you can actually boost it again.
Hey, Margie.
Hello.
Hello, mate. You ever, when you were playing in your life of...
Did I pull a face?
No. Did you ever use earplugs?
Never.
Explains a lot of things now.
Never.
Oh.
I got earmuffs
That's a
on.
drummer's line. That is a drummer's line.
Never.
Hey, and you know something? You know something, Pino?
Yeah.
When Marchie played, if he had a chart, he still wouldn't turn down.
No, it wouldn't.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
No. The guitar player's got to be heard, not seen, and not heard. It all has to be in a balance. Doesn't it?
I know.
But there is different though. Seriously, when you go around the world and see some guitar players from around the world, the American guys are really up there in the mix. I've got to tell you. In Australia, it's quite the opposite. So if you're chasing your influences, you tend to be a little bit more up there. So it's all horses for courses.
Yeah,
you got to suit the gig. There's no doubt about
We've
it.
got a question.
Hello.
Is Gibson, is it finished?
No, I don't believe it will be. Look, it's filed for Chapter 11. What is a Chapter 11? That's a very good question. I think it'll be resurrected by probably
a bigger company.
Well, no, probably a group of enthusiasts and investors, and it'll probably be stripped and gone back to bare bones, and bring back the models that everyone wants, and with some innovation. So it happened in the Nolan era, in the in the 70s, and came to what it is today. I just think there was a few problems with all the acquisitions with so many different companies that they purchased.
Yeah.
Some did really well, like KRK and Sarah and Vega. And the other ones didn't do so well.
Yeah.
But I don't think. Look, there's many rich enthusiasts that'll always save a company of that nature.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. So basically, the thing that we can say about Gibson is just watch the space.
Pretty much.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I personally don't think it'll go.
Neither do I.
My gut feeling would be a company like Fender would probably just go, let's just buy it out, and then sure, they're the opposition. Well, in a way, they're kind of the opposition, but they're not, because they're a different guitar altogether. So if anything, they'll just go, let's just take it and keep it going, and off you go. And then we've got the pie for everything.
Yep.
But I don't know. Who knows? Watch this space with Gibson. Yeah, good question, Joe. Who was that? Joe Akapinti. Joe asked that question. Very good question, Joe. Got us chewing on that one. So, yeah.
I doubt it. I think it will always exist. It might go off the boil for a little while, or production may slow down. It has slowed down, but it'll be back. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Enthusiasts will bring it back.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go back to more tech talk.
Do it.
All right. This thing here, I've had numerous people come to me, and they'll buy a power supply from your local J Car or whatever, and they'll run their pedals, and they'll say, I don't know, I've got all this noise, and I've got this, and I've got that, and I run all the pedals at one time, and I haven't got, it just the signal disappears, and I have this problem and have that problem, and so on. Now, this thing here,
it's called the MEM.
The MEM.
The one spot MEM.
this thing here, I have to admit, I didn't know it existed.
It's fairly new product. Fairly new
Yeah.
product.
And explain.
Yeah, it's for guys that are, you know, the pedal market's pretty big in a lot of ways. Pretty much every guitar player is using 1 or 2 pedals, or maybe 20. And what they're doing, it's sometimes the user manuals don't really tell you exactly how many milliamps is the draw of the pedal.
And sometimes they lie.
Yeah, that's true, because they want you to have their generic power supply. Maybe, maybe not. But so
I know that with a particular brand.
And so with this, it saves you looking it up. You can just plug it straight in, use power supply into this, and then take a lead into the pedal, and it gives you a draw straight away. It's also a cable checker. So that way you know, oh, this pedal only draws 55 milliamps. So you know exactly which out on your power supply to run it, or how many pedals you can run out of one out. There you go.
That's it. Hey, Pino, can you be the model again and show that? Thanks, mate.
And it's a great cable checker too.
So just the jack to jack, then. Yeah. It's just the jack to jack cable checker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it runs on battery as well. No?
I've never used it on batteries. It's plug power straight in. No, you
Power
plug-
straight in.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, that's awesome. I have to admit, that's great.
Again, it should be one of those things that every guitar player should have that in their bag of tricks.
Yeah. Yeah. Great
Won't
idea.
hurt.
Great idea. And how much are these?
I think they streak for about $59.
$59.
$39.95 if you mention the Muso channel.
Yeah.
Oh no, wasn't it $99.99? Now I have to admit, you brought in these picks and you said, "Oh, have a look at these picks. These are awesome." Pino, can I have you? Pino's hating my guts at the moment.
You're making me work tonight. What are you doing to me?
Well, we're not playing. Well, I'm not going to get you to play the drums tonight, so I'm going to get you to stand around and. Now these things are picks. Now, these picks are actually, I have to admit, quite amazing because the first thing that made my jaw drop was the price of the picks.
Okay. Which one are you holding? The blue one?
The blue one.
The blue one. Now, if you were to get a green one, it's 1.5 millimeter, and I'll get some in my bag and I'll show you in a minute. Blue is 2 millimeter.
2 mil. Yeah, it's got
Orange
2
is 3 millimeter.
Yep.
Yellow is 4 millimeter, 4 mil, and red is 6. And they're made of acrylic, and you can get different edges on them in different shapes, like any other normal pick. But they what we call a master finish. So you get a rough edge on the sides. If you like that, a different sound on the guitar, especially for like speed picking or chomping on like riffs, etc. That's a polished edge version, and I've gone up a gauge to 2 mil because I like the sound of 2 mil. It lasts a long time. You can break them.
Do these get the burrs? You know when you're playing and you get like I find that I'm constantly going through picks, right? And I'll buy picks. If I'm buying picks, I don't stand there at the pick counter and go, I'm going to get 5 of those, and I'm going to get 2 of those. I don't do that. I just buy 1 mil picks because it's the size I use, and I'll go right. I'll get a bag. Have you got a bag of 88? And bang, I've got the bag, and off I go. I wouldn't be able to do that with this.
Nah, you'd have to rub the string like this for quite some time to get an indentation.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's thermoplastic, which is a different sound again.
Yep.
That's called the Gold Series.
That's the thermoplastic.
Thermoplastic.
And what are these ones?
That's acrylic. And to get that polish, actually, apparently a blowtorch and they hand polish them. It's a good sound. They actually you get a little bit more level, and they glide across the string a little bit here. A little bit brighter. It's got a little bit more attack, but it's still good. It's nice and solid in the bass.
And how much are these picks?
Around about, they start from $5.
Okay. And they go up to?
About 35.
That's where my jaw dropped. It was like, what?
Yeah.
You're gonna be joking.
Well, that's pretty inexpensive because how it all started for me, I was given these prime time picks from Jimmy Dunlop. They said $20. I said, oh, this pick's $20. I said, what a great sounding pick. I didn't know you get 5 picks or 6 picks for $20. So it actually wasn't expensive, but it was a great sounding pick.
Yeah.
And then that spurred me on to, like, have you ever tried a blue chip or red bear pick? And they're $100, $150. I went, oh, that's a good sounding pick. And then someone told me about these. I said, hey, this is great. This is only $5. I said, it's a good sounding pick.
Well, Joe Occhipinti gets coins. It cuts coins up.
Why not?
Not Australian coins, by the way.
Why not?
No, because you're not allowed to damage Australian coins, but apparently you can do it to other countries.
Oh, that's okay.
Hey, Will,
I'll give you all my old American ones.
Will, I've actually got some of those blue picks actually, because I actually pinched them from the NAM show. And
Did you?
I did actually. $2.50, mate.
You pinched them,
Yeah.
or did you buy them?
No, didn't buy them.
You borrowed them.
No, well, because we're a radio station, the guy gave me a few to take back home. Nice of him.
Which
Oh,
ones
okay.
were they?
The blue ones.
The same ones, the clear ones.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Are you going to give me one?
$2.50.
Hey, but that's $2.50 US, which is really, you could say, close to $5 Australian anyway, when you think about it. I just imported some stuff. I imported a whole bunch of tools from the US, right? And the amount of money I had to pay the border control on excise and all that stuff, I just sat there and went, this is, I'm paying more money to the Australian government than what I am for my own product. You know, seriously, it wasn't 10% GST. It was the 10% GST in there, plus all the other fees involved with it. I just sat there and went,
Was it over $1,000?
yeah. Well, but that's changing soon, they say.
Apparently.
And I think that would be good
I
for
know
Australia.
I know there was a really good lobby, and I think they just went too hard and attacked the government. But then someone told me, and it was, I said, why don't you fix the threshold like other countries like America and really protect all their import duties and things of that nature? And they said to me, with the amount of stuff coming to the country, we haven't got the infrastructure to actually do it.
Well, that's true, because I've
That was an honest answer.
Yeah,
I've got to say.
I know some people that work with border control, and they said the exact same thing. And they even said the same thing about the drug control and stuff. They said there's so much coming in. What they stop is massive, but there's so much more coming in because they just don't have the manpower to go through it all.
But think of the amount of jobs they could create if they actually put the people in place to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. But don't worry, we'll spend $100 million for countries overseas because there's something happening over there that's got nothing to do with us. But don't worry about it. It's all right.
Yeah,
now, we don't want to get political in this thing. So we're going to play a song now that Pino's just given me a message on, and it's Mike Stern's song. Now, Mike Stern is in town in Melbourne at the moment. He's playing at Bird's Basement. So he's currently playing there right now. So in tribute to Mike Stern, we're going to play a track from one of his albums for you.
Yeah,
What's the album called? What's the song called?
It's called Out of the Blue. We're actually patching into Bird's Basement live now. We actually tapped into their live feed. So here it is.
And we're back now. When we were actually chatting whilst that track was playing, we were talking about some musicians some guitarists that Marchie sort of went, oh, I've got to mention, guys like, say it, Doug DeVries.
Oh, Doug,
Australian players that have made a mark on the Australian industry.
And Doug's still doing it.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal guitar player. Ross Ingalls, wow, man. Who could ever forget going to the grain store and watching that listening to that fabulous band Network,
mate?
And
yeah,
and then I was thinking, hey, Ross Ingalls, it's just done Kid Shallow, mate. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
despite Larry Carlton solo and everything of that nature. I'll do one for you later if you want.
No, do it now.
You reckon?
Yeah. Hey, come on, I made you practice for this week.
I stuffed it
I
up.
caught him. I caught him off guard.
You got me off guard.
Margie,
You got me off guard.
Margie wasn't expecting
No,
to
I
play
wasn't.
tonight.
You got me off guard.
And I
You
said
got me
to
off
him,
guard.
I'm going to get you to play.
You got me off guard. You got me off guard.
Oh, no, it's all right, Margie. It's all good, mate. We're all, as I say, once you hit the note that's the wrong note, at least you know that it's
You got me
there.
off guard, but I do know it. Sorry, you got me off guard. I should never do that. You got me off guard.
So now we were talking about that other the one stop the milliamp testing
Yep.
device that you had before. Now you've also got the one spot
Power supply,
power supply.
1700 milliamps, and you can run a lot of pedals
Yeah,
as long as they share a common earth.
exactly. So now with regards to power supplies, because there's a lot of guys out there that don't understand what the power supply, how important power supplies are.
It's well, number one, you need a reliable source, especially if you're playing live, so one doesn't break down. Number two, you need no noise, so you need it to be quiet, and it's also good for your tone all round. So the tone network is very, very important. Because a lot of them can suck a lot of tone, like bad leads. So a lot of pedals require certain juice, or else they won't sound any good.
Yeah.
And then some pedals are designed to hit them with different voltages, so they actually have more tone or have more output. So like from 9 to 18, some of like, for example, Maxon, you can go up to 18 volts and hit it a bit harder. Some full tone pedals as well. So there's quite a few different pedals that do that.
Yeah. Okay. And this little blue box,
Yes.
you were telling me about this before.
Yeah. That's you can use. It's like from an output of an amplifier of this nature for
Yeah.
recording. And Thomas, what he's done, he's actually put digitally recorded some of the best boxes in the world. He's put it into this little device. It's got a DI out. It's a nice clean signal, and you can mimic some of the best cabinets in the world. He's even put his own cabinets in there, which is the nano cab and the fat cab. You can actually tune it. And over here, you could take your speaker out of your head, out of a normal head, go through to your speaker box. You can put your effects in through here, and then out of here goes out to the DI to the desk. So you can actually tune a cabinet. You can actually pick a cabinet and take the DI out.
So you can actually run this. So say, for example, you've got a Fender Twin and you've got that external speaker on the back where you can unplug, right?
Yeah.
You can plug from there and go straight into here, go out back into the cabinet of the
Correct.
speaker,
Which is called a through,
and then from there you go out of here into the PA.
PA or desk for recording. In fact, if you got like a preamp pedal,
Does this actually change if you were, running the speaker into there and then running the speaker from there into like through, right? If you turn this around, does it change the actual settings of the output into the speaker cab?
it can, yes.
It can. Okay. But then you can run it straight DI into your, that's awesome. It's a great little box.
It is.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Well, and the good thing is
Yeah. Go Pino, show it off, go on.
it's really, really simple to use.
So, yeah, and how much do they retail for?
Street for about $450.
About $450. Wow. Okay. Cool. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome.
I say the approximate price because I can't remember the exact retails. They just don't stick anymore. They used to. They just code stick, but not retails.
Now, one thing I have to admit, you guys are really known for is, and I have to admit, tonight's show has been one of those shows that's a what do you call it? We can't say Foxtel, can we? It's like we're on one of those infomercial in a major way, isn't it? So the only thing is we don't have any, blenders or anything to make.
Don't wait, there's more.
If you ring now, you'll get 2 for the price of 1.
So what's this, Margie?
Oh, I just thought I'd bring, lot of musos want to get it in and out of a gig and do something really quickly. So I just thought this is a really nice small pedal board. It's called the Nano, and this is a reissue. And look at this. It's got straps that you can just strap that to your guitar. So you can carry that on your guitar. Everything fits in here. It's got little compartments. And I've actually got different power supplies that go under here as well. So you don't have to take up valuable real estate. And it's light. You can get on the plane with
I have
it.
to admit, that is so light.
Yeah, it's aircraft aluminum. Or well, I should say aluminium here.
Aluminium.
Yeah, see, when you visit America a few times, you get to say cell phone and aluminum. And it's funny, the Americans say mobile now and aluminium.
So that's a smaller one.
Yes. And that's where it starts.
Yeah. How much are these?
Street for about $110.
110.
Correct.
Okay. This one's called the Dingbat.
Yeah,
Voodoo Lab.
that's correct.
And okay, it's got the power supply on here.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
got
what
a
we call.
pedal.
You can get these without a power supply and with a power supply.
Yep.
And this is called integrated, and this is the very famous power supply called the Pedal Power 2 Plus. And you can see the little dip switches here.
Yeah, what are the dip switches for?
That's a good question.
Are they for dip switch people?
They're like me, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's you may have an old Boss pedal that's ACA, which is 12, which is not AC power. It's actually it's
Still DC power.
yeah, it's 12 volt but not regulated.
Yeah.
So you can flick from 9 volt to 12 volt.
Yeah. Okay.
And the last two is for adjusting a sag function. So you may have I don't know if anyone's ever done they've had something like a tube screamer and the battery's gone flat and they've done this magical solo and they've never reproduced it again because of that sound. That's because the battery's gone flat. Well, that helps you sag it, starve it with voltage, and it gives you a different sound. That's called a sag function.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can replicate a battery going flat.
That-
Believe it or not.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
And that comes in.
Yeah, that comes in that
Go on.
in that.
Yeah. No, you're going to say something else about this.
Oh yeah, it's totally made in America.
Fully made.
Yeah, all totally 100% American made. To the power supply, to the board, everything.
Yep. Yep.
And
Okay.
what's nice about them, they haven't copied anybody. That's their own design, their own boards.
Does this one come with a set of kitchen knives?
No, it doesn't.
No. Okay.
It should though, shouldn't it? And there's the bag.
And that's the bag for it.
Yeah. So we're very lucky that we've got two leading pedal boards in the world to distribute, which is wonderful. Of course, everyone knows the pedal train, and it's probably still the market leader. There's no doubt about that.
And what's this bag?
That's a new bag from Pedal Train.
So we're releasing something.
Yeah.
Is this like hot off the press?
It's hot off the press.
Hey everyone, this is a world first for Australia. World first for Australia. Yeah. So
that's called a hideaway bag, and they come in different models.
Yeah.
Different series. I just thought I'd bring one that's not too big, not too small. As you can see, it's got pull-throughs, high quality padding, strong, durable, and it's also got the waterproof zip. And that's
I have to admit, the zip looks awesome because it's got that waterproof thing on there to stop water from going through. That's pretty good.
Can I fit drumsticks in that bag?
You can.
You can actually.
Oh, there you go. The bag's staying behind.
Yeah. You'd need to take this thing out.
Yeah.
I suppose I could take this and you can keep the bag. Yeah.
Deal. Done.
Do you reckon we could work that out with Marchie?
It's already
as you
worked
see,
out.
That's a different size. So they've got like about 14 different boards.
Yeah,
in the series.
that's the first one that we showed was a tiny one of that.
Yeah. Everyone's seen the boards on an incline.
Yeah.
That's called the Classic series and the Novo series. But as with the type of pedal, real-time pedals and modulation pedals that are coming out, which are quite big, a lot of them do more than one function. So a lot of guys are just buying one real-time pedal modulation pedal and using a couple of drives, and you don't really need a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. How much for this one here?
I don't remember.
You're really good.
I think the bag's about $199, and the board's about once.
Oh, so you can buy the bag separate.
Absolutely, you can buy now. You can buy tour cases and bags separately. So if you have, you've got that style of bag, and you're touring and you need a better quality bag, you can purchase one of these bags.
Now you know that there's a
and as you see, it's really high quality.
You know, I'm just checking the pockets on this, right? Because you know that in European tradition, that if you give somebody a bag, you have to have money in it. And I'm checking the bag, and there's no money in it, mate. So
yeah, I'll give you a bob.
So no, that's awesome. Okay, cool.
Serge reckons I should grab the bag and run.
Yeah, go for it. So I thought maybe I would bring some things for convenient gigs to get in and out.
Yeah,
working musicians to get in and out of a place.
Yeah.
Which we never did, Will, did we?
Oh, mate, I'm still carrying my boogie. I've got a boogie, and it is so heavy. Actually, I'm doing a gig on Friday night at the Essendon Wine Bar. I'm giving a plug to my gig. How's that? I'm doing a fill-in gig for a band called Who Said What. So it's going to be fun. So
great band.
I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to it. Covers, 80s, a lot of 80s stuff. So yeah, so if you're not doing anything, Friday night, I think we started about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or something like that. So yeah, make your way down if you want to have fun. So
drinks are on you?
Yeah, actually, if you do come, drinks are on me. All right. So there you go.
I'm coming down.
I know you're going to be there, Pino.
I'm coming down straight after my show because I got my gig. I should finish about 9:30, so I'm straight down.
Yeah, great. I'm looking forward to it. So you coming, Marchie? No.
What night?
Friday night. You've got to deflea your next door neighbour's cat, don't you, or something? Yeah.
Something of that nature,
Yeah. So anyway, have you got any more gear for us?
I've got lots. There's another one over there.
What's that?
If you just, that's it.
The Volto. The Volto.
While we're on power supplies.
Oh. Yeah, this is a vacuum cleaner. Volto.
Volto.
Yeah. Volto vacuum cleaners. They're great. Yeah. Oh, this is the one you put on the floor.
Oh, no. Yeah, take it out.
Oh, it's a mobile phone.
It's packed like one, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like it's Christmas, you know. Okay.
Now press a button on top of it.
Pew.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. Oh, and you got green lights. So this is the power thing.
Well, that's a battery operated power supply. It actually comes with a power supply to power it to recharge it. So you've got two separate dry cell batteries in here. It's very similar to a mobile phone. So theoretically, when you haven't got a power supply into it, it should be very, very, very quiet. As long as all your pedals share a common earth, you won't have a problem. You just Velcro that underneath one of the pedal train boards or any board of your liking, and it comes with a number of daisy chains, so you can power
daisy chain pedals.
Like 2 lots of 3 and some individuals.
What's the ampage?
2,000 milliamps
per each.
1,000 each side.
1,000 each side.
Total 2,000.
And what's the mini USB thing?
The mini USB, so you plug the charger in to charge it.
Oh, so that's for the charger.
You can plug it in. You can charge it while you're driving in the car. So for outdoor gigs or getting in and off stage, no problem. And you can actually still use your pedals while you're charging it. No problem at all. Makes no difference.
That's great. And how much for this?
It's streets for about $170.
170. That's pretty good value for money.
It is.
Yeah.
And beware of imitations and copies. That's the original.
So this one's the Volto by Pedal Train.
Volto 2.
Volto 2 by Pedal Train.
That's correct.
Hey, how do you switch it off?
Press the button.
I've been pressing it.
Wait till the battery dies.
Yeah, it'll go off.
Yeah. Oh, it worked. Yeah, you have to press the button. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. So the copies that are out there, what's the difference?
Their batteries don't last very long. They have noise issues. They're inexpensive, but They're inexpensive for a reason.
Actually, I have to admit, I was talking about power supplies and stuff, and this is something that a lot of people aren't aware of, and this is now a public announcement. So, I was talking to this insurance assessor who was telling me about someone who had imported a power supply, and the house caught fire.
Ouch.
The guys went through the house and found that power supply was the cause. That's how good they are, right?
Okay.
The arson, the guys that do arson.
Yeah.
They found that was the cause. They questioned the person, where did they get it from? The person said, I bought it on eBay. The whole claim was declined.
Really?
Because they imported it. Whereas when you import stuff like you guys do, you've got Australian standards that you've got to make sure these things
Absolutely.
reach.
Yeah. You do your best. Yeah,
They
absolutely.
bought that power supply from some Chinese whatever, and that's what the guy told me. I don't know if he's pulling my leg or what, but anyway.
Actually, where's the store you can buy all this stuff? What's the store at Eastgate? What's the Eastgate?
Eastgate Music is at 1131 Burke Road, Q.
You don't know. He doesn't even know the address of his own shop.
Actually, do you want me to?
I've still got ball in my head.
You still want me? You want me to run your ad for you
Yeah,
again?
you please. You do me a big
my
favour.
God.
So I'm just tired.
Oh my God. So now anybody can buy these from Eastgate Music, but you also, if you contact EGM Distribution, you can also purchase it from other stores in Melbourne, in Victoria.
Yeah, we have many good outlets.
And you also have other stores in New South Wales and all the other states as well.
Every state in Australia.
So
EGM Distribution is the sister company of Eastgate Music.
Yep.
As run completely separately for wholesale and distribution.
Yeah. Okay.
Just the directors of the business, which is Peter Shaletta and myself, just happen to own both businesses.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one morphed into another from our passion to look for gear to sell, because a lot of shops when we started weren't bringing in boards or weren't selling boards. We were trying to get boards made up, and we couldn't find good power supplies. And then from going overseas and getting instruments and orchestral instruments and everything, we met these people and we spoke to them, amplification, etc. And then, that never-ending journey to, that passion to bring good gear to the country so people are able to purchase.
So how
quality
long
gear.
has EGM been around? EGM Distribution?
We've been in business for over 15 years, and the EGM started bringing in products probably about infancy of about a year being in business. So it's been around a while now.
Yeah.
So
and I have to say, we've got to go back now.
Oh no.
We're going to go back. I remember working at the Rock House in Preston.
Wow, that's long.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Those days?
High Street Preston.
Now, back in the days, I remember that towards the end of the Rock House being there, Fretted Instruments opened up.
That's correct.
And there was this chapo across the roado
I wonder who that was.
called Marchie. And I have to admit, like at the Rock House, we'd be there and you'd hear the guys in the Rock House jamming, and you'd walk out and then you'd hear the guys across the road at Fretted, they'd be jamming, and it was like a big competition. One would be louder than the other, trying to get
There were rigs
being
those days.
heard.
There
and
were-
they
there
were
were rigs.
serious rigs, the
They
big
were those
Marshall
days.
stacks.
We
and
had the
stuff.
rigs.
Yeah. So that's how long I've known you.
Wow.
That's going back.
Were you working at an electric factory then?
From the Rock House, I went to the Electric Factory.
Okay.
Actually, Will, I'll probably go further back than you on this one.
Okay.
I was 16 or 15 when I met Marchie, and I was working as a drum teacher, and Marchie was my manager at Elgin Music. No, In Sound Music.
In Sound
sorry,
Music.
on Elgin
Yeah.
Strait.
And I was guitar teacher in Sound Music and working in the store, and then I started managing it as well.
Wow.
Going back then.
Wow.
How long ago was that, Pino?
I reckon that was
743
Yeah,
BC.
Wow.
I reckon it was probably 1986.
Wow, I was
85.
5 years old. That's fantastic.
And
Man, that's showing
Yeah.
our
I
age.
was 15 when I started at the shop there teaching.
Okay.
16.
So In sound music.
So you've known Marchie all those years.
Yeah.
Hold on, I've got
And Marchie taught me how to smoke.
I've got
and
a
all.
business. My wallet's over there. I've got
I
a
thought
business
everyone had
card of a
smoke,
really
didn't
good
I?
psychiatrist. Oh, crikey! So,
That was owned by Nick Tortoni,
Yes,
also
correct. Yeah.
Michael Tortoni's brother.
oh, okay,
He was a drummer. He was a funny bloke,
yeah.
real funny.
Yeah, he was. Good bloke. Yeah. Very funny. That was a funny place.
You know what we should do? We should do a night of the boys that from yesteryear, and we do I'll put it out there, and people, you can, everyone who's listening in, you can send in comments and messages and stuff on your thoughts as well. We should do a night where we go days of yesteryear, and we'll get a panel of guests in, and you guys, being our listeners, can actually send messages in and say, can you see if you can get, so and so in, and blah blah blah. And what we'll do is we'll have like a pizza night.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we need to talk about the old days of those yesteryears. But some of the stories that are like, the old stories of, whatever happened on the road stays on the road. Well, whatever happened in the old shops has to come out.
Oh.
Could you imagine some of those stories?
That's a bit dangerous, that one.
Could you imagine some of those stories? So, yeah. Anyway, we've come to the end of the show tonight. So, Marchie, thank you very, very much.
You're very welcome.
For coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It's been great. It's been great having you. And tonight was our official first tech night on Guitar Talk, where we really, really spent time talking about guitar gear, and we had a lot of gear, didn't we? So
we did.
I hope everybody who was listening enjoyed it. We won't be doing it every week, but we'll do it every so often. So whenever I've got a supplier who's available, and Marchie, you're more than welcome to come back.
Oh, thank you. I would love to do that.
And as
And
we were
hopefully I'll be
discussing,
invited
if you ever have an artist that you're bringing out, like when you had Igor here,
Yes.
that'd be great if we could get Igor, whoever out again. That'd be awesome. So
Well, hopefully we'll be doing a lot more of that.
yeah, that'd be great, because I have to that night
Bring back old school clinics.
that night you did that clinic. I have to admit that was awesome.
Yeah, it was
And Dean and Bernardo, they were awesome.
Yeah, they were.
before Igor, and even Igor was getting into them.
Yeah.
That was great. So
That was a good warm up.
yeah, they were really good warm up. So Monday nights we have Drum Talk with Pino Bertolini. Pino, who do you have on the show this Monday?
We got Christian Nativo on Monday night.
Christian Nativo.
So it should be a great night. Yes, at 8
Cativo
o'clock.
Nativo.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And what are you going to talk about?
Drums.
Aren't you going to talk about anything else? Is there anything else you guys can talk about?
Well, what are you hinting at?
I don't know. No, I'm joking. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how to quieten down guitarists in the studio.
Well, I'll just call Marty.
Yeah, go on. We'll fix that problem.
We'll fix that problem, won't we?
We'll bring real serious artillery.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tuesday night we have on the mic with Liz. Is Liz on Tuesday night again?
No. This Tuesday night we actually got Ricky Muscat coming in.
Ricky.
And he's coming in with a student of his, Nick P. So that's Tuesday night at 8 o'clock.
Awesome. Then on Wednesday night, before me, we have Go Pino.
Can Do Radio, hosted by Andrew Hewitt. He's from Sydney, and he's playing songs and supporting all musicians with disabilities.
Awesome. And then after that, we have Guitar Talk.
Who you got on next week?
Um,
That's a good question, isn't it?
Far out. Hold on a minute. Can you get my phone for me? I've just gone blank. No, Pino, get my phone. Serious.
Where's your phone?
It's over there. I have gone blank on who I've got. Okay.
And I
So-
always thought it was only me going blank
Oh,
on my
man.
show.
I am seriously. It must be the age. So next week, next week I am going to really, really throw a spanner in the works.
You got to bring a drummer in.
No. I am going to give us a massive splash of culture. I'm going to bring on an artist called Erkan. And Erkan is going to bring on his sas and his bailama. Balama. Yeah.
I think that's happening.
I think so, yeah. Well, I'll get Erkan to tell me exactly. But his Erkan is a pro player around Melbourne and he does stuff around Australia as well. And he usually gets calls when Turkish artists come to Australia and perform.
Cool.
So he's usually one of like a session, SAS player and stuff. And so next week we're going to listen to some really, really different stringed instruments. So and Erkan, I've always said to Erkan, we've got to sit down one night in the studio and actually jam. And we're actually going to make it happen next week. So Erkan's going to be awesome. So
sounds great. I reckon Marchie should play us out.
Yeah, go on, Marchie. Play. He's looking at me as if to say,
Thanks, Marchie.
You
Appreciate
didn't tell me I was going to be playing.
No, I'm just going to demo a couple of things. I'm still upset about that lick.
Oh, it's a good time to do it again, mate.
Oh.
Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week.